That's why I actually started going to acting school in the first place. Not just because I wanted to learn how to act, but I wanted to meet actors who actually wanted to do shit.
Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
Hello, everybody. I'm Brian Lally, Hollywood native, and you're about to watch the show, Brian Lally, Hollywood native. I've been told in my life that I have the personality of a game show host. Nothing on this episode will belie that. I'm sitting here, as always, with my friend and partner in crime, Scott William. How are you, Scott?
I'm doing fair to middling.
Scott, who do we have on the podcast today?
Today, Brian, we have a great guest, Zak Meister.
Zak Meister is one of my former students. When Zak was 19 years old, his first introduction to the Meisner technique was he tried to hang himself as an independent activity. And much to the class's chagrin, it was not successful. Though my son Kyle, he tried to help him achieve his goal. But now Zak is a rapper, he's a writer, he's an actor, he's a filmmaker, a podcast host himself, the Meister Menagerie. Listen to some of the stories he's got because he's been around the block for a young man. So I'm real happy to have him on. Is it Peanut? Is that the thing? What is the thing that you video chat on?
Peanut? What the fuck? Yeah.
What is it you had me get on? So we FaceTime.
FaceTime?
Yeah, FaceTime.
Why would you call it Peanut?
No.
Oh, we did that on Signal.
Oh, Peanut.
That's what I think. He's always calling me, and he says, "Can I see your peanut?"
That's your homosexual
so
dating app.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There was a big lesbian bar for years on Santa Monica Boulevard called Peanuts.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Nice.
And a hush came over the pool room as
Right.
Jimmy came walking in off the street. When the cutting was done, the only part that wasn't bloody was the sole of the big man's feet. You don't mess around with Slim. Boop, booty, doop, doop.
I don't know that song.
That's Big Jim Wonka, Jim Croce, Big Jim.
Okay, yeah, I don't know him.
What?
I don't know him.
Yeah.
What are you working on now? You're catching up on your music?
Catching up on my music. Just put out today, third episode of my podcast, and
Why are you going to talk about your podcast?
yeah.
No, we always talk about
Yeah.
other people's
Cool.
work,
So yeah, I dropped the third episode of my podcast, the Meister Menagerie.
All right.
The music video that I acted in the other week for my homie Loki.
Is that the one I was supposed to be in?
Yeah, but you are a fucking asshole. Made me look like a dick. 'Cause
Yeah.
I told him, I was like, yeah, Brian's in it. And then they told me the day was wrong.
Right.
And then I was like, can he come tomorrow? And you're like, no, I got a podcast.
Yeah.
So they dropped that music video today that I acted in. I got to be an alien hunter, and I seized out and died because the music was too lit.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, I think anything
Yeah,
that you're involved with,
yeah.
the music would be too lit.
Yeah, that's a Neon Sermon video. Got to shout them out. Godzilla
Godzilla.
is the name of the song.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Gigantor. Who did that? Who did that? The Adolescents? Who did Gigantor in the early 80s?
I don't know.
Gigantor.
Oh, what the show?
Well, yeah, but they did the theme song. Who was it? Who did?
We're about to get it up.
Uh-oh. That would be news for me.
Getting up the Gigantor.
Gigantor.
Who's the punk rock band that did that?
G.G. Allen?
Was it the Adolescents? Who was it?
Looking for the
Interesting.
Gigantor theme song.
I'm probably wrong about this, like I was about Peanut. So,
Peanut.
Not
What
even
you're talking
close.
about.
huh?
I don't know what you're talking. Gigantor theme song?
Yeah, Gigantor,
Lewis.
Gigantor punk rock cover. How's
All
that?
right, let's try that.
I
Gigantor.
got to do everything.
We have to do something.
So what? That's the Adolescents. So I just had to prove I knew one of their songs.
Oh, okay.
So what?
I don't really listen to punk rock.
Why not?
I don't know.
You should have.
I had a punk rock phase, but I just feel like a lot of it sounds exactly the same.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Nothing like trap.
Well, I don't really listen to trap.
I know
either
you
at
don't.
all.
David does.
Yeah, I'm on that trap shit.
Yeah, every time I get in his truck, I'm like, this is the same artist you listen to every day.
Young Dolph.
Young-
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Young Dolph. I know Young Dolph, yeah.
Moneybagg Yo. I like the Memphis guys.
Yeah.
Memphis is where
Kodak
he's
Black.
from. He lives on the street, but he's no bum. Johnny Royale. Johnny. It's the Beastie Boys, Johnny Royale.
Okay.
All right.
I like Beastie Boys, but
Of course you do.
but I don't know all their songs by heart.
Why not?
Because like I barely ever remember my own songs by heart.
So you're on the set with Method Man and Snoop Dogg,
Yes, I was.
and you didn't rap for him.
I was a pussy. You know, sometimes we all have to grow a little.
You were pretty young then, though.
Yeah, it was pretty young. It was intimidating to meet, you know. And I also didn't want to get him out of his headspace, because when I actually got to meet him, it sounded like he was like trying to remember some lines or something like
Right.
that. So I used some of the knowledge that you taught me, and you know, try not to get them out of their headspace, and
That's cool.
you know, refer to them as their the character name and not by their real name.
Yeah.
You know, so that kind of keeps him, and he, you know, I called him I forget, it was like Bullet Tooth or some stupid shit like that, but like I called him by that, and he like, you know, actually like talked to me, and you know, we got a picture. Erica took a horrible picture of us, and
Right. Is that before Erica got a restraining order put on her?
I don't know anything about that.
Whoa, well, you weren't involved. You just acted like you were the guy involved in it.
That wasn't me, man. I
You're
swear.
Just claiming the fifth right here.
All I'm
I
saying
don't know anything about it.
is you
I
brought
didn't
it.
hear
You brought it up.
yeah,
and
you
I
brought
did.
it up.
I did no further research.
Yeah, and I didn't hear about it. I wasn't involved.
Ah, la, 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 la.
I did not touch her in that way. Damn.
Yeah, but she posts some crazy stuff on Facebook. I don't know. I hope she's doing okay, but
Right.
I don't talk to her anymore. She was kind of rude on one of my posts where I was shouting at all my homies, and she was just
Right.
like, "So what?" I'm like, she commented something rude and like flip it, and I was just like,
Maybe she was just doing the adolescent song. So what? We're not respected by our peers. So what?
maybe.
So you were born in Ventura?
Born in Ventura, and then when I was like two, maybe three, we moved up to Oregon for like 5 years.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Is that why you always had long hair? You got a hippie thing about you?
No. I started growing my hair out because my stepdad, when we moved back, he had long hair. Kind of just started doing it because of that. But
Thank you, Scott. Thank you. So your stepdad. Is that who you grew up with, your stepdad?
yeah, my dad lives in Oregon still.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought that was your dad. So when I was
No.
sneaking around your house trying to get with your mom, that was your stepdad?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he was stoned. He probably wouldn't have noticed, but
He wasn't in the glam band.
no, my dad was.
Yeah.
No.
And what was the name of that band?
Psychotic Symphony.
Psychotic Symphony.
Yeah.
And they had any hits? Top 40, top
no,
100?
I don't know if they ever charted at all. I know that they toured and they did a bunch of shows, and they did Gene Simmons' birthday party.
I was going to say, did they ever open for Kiss?
No, but they did his birthday.
Which one?
No, I don't know what year.
I was at his 45th birthday party.
Well, then you would know because they dress up in crazy costumes and shit. That's something you would remember.
Maybe not.
The whole band. I mean, they do kind of like a glam rock metal thing.
Maybe to me, that's just Tuesday.
Well, I mean, I know you like to go hang out at the drag clubs and shit, so.
Why's it got to be a drag club? I can't. I just call it
Because
club.
costumes.
When you're in China, they don't call it Chinese food. You just call it food.
They actually do call it Chinese food.
In
So
China?
you like this Chinese food because there's real food over there if you need some.
What?
What?
Real food.
Real food. You want some real food? You want some Chinese food is what they tell me when I'm over there.
You were over in China?
No. I like to. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. There's no rhyme to my rhythm.
So in China, they just call it food.
So I've heard.
Right.
Yeah.
So when I'm in a drag club, I just call it the club.
Well, that's cool. You know.
Hanging in a club, bottle full of bub.
So, what are your main musical influences?
That's a two-part. There's a two-part answer to that. There's the artists that I listened to growing up, and then there are the artists that influenced me when I actually became an artist. So, like when I grew up, the artists that made me want to get into music were like Necro, Ill Bill, Cage, Wu-Tang Clan, Cannabis, K Reno, bunch of boom bap shit. And then as I actually became an artist, I know neither of you knew any of those names.
Of course, I knew some of them.
Yeah, I've heard a few of them.
Oh, okay. You both were just like,
Well, you were talking. I know our relationship is I jump in on everything you say
I know.
and put you down,
I know.
but I'm trying to let you talk a little bit.
So
Shut the fuck up.
So as I actually became an artist, like the guy that I'm living with right now, I actually learned about his music in high school, and I was like, his name's the Joker with 2 R's, and I said, yo, like this guy does everything that I want to do with music, because he does all of his own instrumentation. Well, for the most part, he has. If there's an instrument he can't play, he gets a session player in. He does all of his own videos, edits, raps like fucking insane, can sing, can just do it all, you know what I mean? And I was like, this is what I want to do. And then eventually I learned that he lived in Woodland Hills, yeah. And then we became friends, did some business shit together. I paid him for a couple mentor sessions, and then we just kind of became homies. And now I work for him full time and live in a studio. I get paid to basically live in a studio.
Damn.
Yeah. And then my homie Black Hesher, he was another big inspiration for me. R.I.P. Black Hesher.
Thank you.
R.I.P.
Just for the camera.
Yeah, I know. I thought you wanted to see my fucking hard ass nips right now.
Not anymore.
Okay, well,
After we broke up, I had no interest.
yeah. So yeah,
They
all right.
were like diamonds.
Well, I can cut diamonds with them for sure. But R.I.P. Black Hesher, but he was a big inspiration for me. You know, he's like believed in my shit. Always, you know, pushed me to do a little bit more and more and more. And you know, my whole cult music family. We just had a show on Friday in San Diego, Heshfest 2022. We're trying to do a show every year. We want to get it. We want it to get festival size, like eventually. But right now we're just starting, you know, venue size because everyone's got to start somewhere. So we're trying to do that every year. We just had Heshfest 2022. We did some songs. Shit was fun, but you know, all my cult music family group is all a big inspiration for me right now because they're all just hustling, doing music, fucking doing dope shit.
Doing dope shit. But when you were living in Ventura in your mother and stepfather's house, you put a little studio in there, right?
I had a little studio, yes.
Yeah.
That's actually how Black Hesher got his name. Well, that's a 2-part fucking answer also.
So that's what we're here for. So just start talking.
I am talking, but I'm just letting you know that there's going to be a long answer to that question.
Because we can put a heading over it if need be. Start of a 2-part answer.
Okay, so I used to call my studio Hesh Studios because back in the day when we were in me and my homies were in high school, we used to smoke a lot of weed and listen to like Black Sabbath records and like doom metal and fucking
My first concert ever.
yeah, just
Black Sabbath, Hollywood Bowl.
yeah, that's dope. I wish I could see them, but you know, tickets now to see them are expensive as fuck usually, but and I'm cheap as fuck usually, so
Word.
yeah. So we used to get stoned, listen to like fucking bunch of droney shit, and then we'd be like, dude, that's so Hesh. Like, that's so fucking Hesh, bro. Just like obnoxiously all the time, like a fucking 16-year-old kid would.
You ever see that movie, Hesher?
Yeah, you were in it.
I know.
Yeah, it's a dope movie. I like that movie.
I do too.
Yeah, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I thought it's some of his best work, and
Oh.
nobody ever talks about it. He
Fantastic.
was phenomenal in that.
Oh, fantastic.
I was not phenomenal in that, but I was all
Well, you
right.
didn't have a big enough part. They should have given you some more screen time.
You should give me some Hesher shit to do.
Yeah, they should. Some Heshier shit. So we used to just say so Hesh all the time, and then we started rapping when I was like 17, 18. Well, I started rapping when I was like 15, but we didn't start recording until I was like 17, 18. And then I got like my first microphone for my birthday or for Christmas or some shit, and then we called it the Hesh Studios, and we had a rap group called Conceptual Lyrics, and we were complete and utter trash.
Right.
And that was fun shit indeed. But yeah, Hesh Studios, that's what it was called. And then Van Bates, Black Hesher, he came from the East Coast, moved over to the West Coast because he's a...
Because you can't spell West without the S.
Yes, exactly. But he was a Massachusetts, Boston, Brockton native, so he came out here. He stayed with... just crashed at our crib for a few days, and he saw the Hesh Studios, and he was just enamored with it. And since then, he was like, well, dude, we got to make a group called Black Hesher. and then I was going through some shit, so I didn't do anything for it. But I had a line in the song that said, "I'm half of the band, but I did none of the work."
Right.
And so that's the Hesh Studios right there. I feel like there was a little bit more that I was gonna say, but no, I can't remember.
We can come back to it.
Yeah, whatever. I don't call it Hesh Studios anymore because now I have the Joker's Lair studio to work at, which is my homie studio. So
Right.
yeah.
That's where you live.
Yes.
So you moved out of Ventura. Did you have a studio when you were living in
I had
the in-laws' house?
my ex, yes.
Yeah,
I was
at the time it was the
in Oxnard. Yes, I had a little studio where we did that episode of Mail Day.
Right.
Yes, that was like Hesh Studios 3 or 4 or something like that.
I'm from the city. It's all Ventura to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, fuck Oxnard.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're gonna hear me. No, Oxnard's cool. There's just nothing to do there, and everyone drives like shit. So I don't really fuck with Oxnard. It's got great Mexican food though. Good music. You know, not enough venues there. There's like,
It's a damn shame.
yeah, there's not any good venues there. I mean, they're okay venues, but whatever.
So what was the podcast we did?
Mail Day.
Mail Day. That's right.
A review show, really, not really a podcast. We were reviewing items and movies. I was trying to expand it to films and other things because we didn't always have money to buy a bunch of alcohol. Because we were mostly reviewing alcohol, me and Hans,
And there was a reason for that.
because I drank too much alcohol.
Just because you wanted to drink.
Yeah, but the show was good, but had to put that on pause because at the time when we were doing it, I wasn't working as much because COVID, quarantine shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started working more at the comic shop over there, Arsenal. Shout out to Arsenal.
Arsenal.
I was working for them at the warehouse, and it just kind of consumed too much time to do an episode every week and film and edit everything.
Right.
And I just couldn't get the hang of it. And then I had this feeling that I knew that I was going to be moving soon, and then several months later, we broke up, and I moved out to LA.
Well, dude, come on, man. I'm
What?
from LA. Sylmar.
Whatever.
Come on.
Hey,
dude.
I could put LA on the address and shit will still show up.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's in the county. It's in the greater county of
When
LA.
I'm from
Close
Southern
enough.
Cal. Once you hit the 805, that's Northern California.
Yeah, but you know what? Everywhere else in the world, they do not know the difference. So
Between Sylmar and
LA,
Universal Studios Hollywood is not in.
it's all the same to them.
It's in the valley.
It's all the same to everyone else in the world.
So okay,
Don't
so you.
question the great native.
Yeah.
I know. Okay, I won't question the native.
I called Brian Lally Hollywood native, man. What if I didn't
no, you're
represent
right.
my
You're
people?
right. You're right. It's
You're like-
it's Silmar, but
People tell me I'm from LA. I said, "Oh, whereabouts? Thousand Oaks." I'm like, "Come on, man. That's the 805." So
yeah, you're
look,
right.
so I want to talk more about your rapping and your style. And you put on shows that you produced, right? In Ventura, you did some traveling shows that you produced. So your dad obviously had that group. And was that an influence where you got the work ethic of, because you were always trying to put shit on?
he wasn't doing music when I was after I was born. Their band pretty much broke up by the time I was, well, I guess I don't have a functioning brain still, but by the time I was able to have any memories whatsoever, they weren't doing music anymore. So I never got the work ethic influence from him. My dad got me my first job because his best friend was their audio engineer for live shows, Ron Romano.
Shout out to Ron.
Shout out to Ron. I worked for him, and he got me jobs with like Lunars and SMI and other things like that. And I did installs for him. We did sound gigs, and he kind of trained me for my work ethic and for audio engineering and all that shit. So that's kind of where it happened, because that was all around the same time that I actually started doing music. So it worked out that way. I really don't have very good work ethic when it comes to actually making music, because it's hard for me to force it. I have to have the inspiration for it.
Okay, so I understand that. And, look, we have a lot of fun bagging on each other. Mm-hmm. But what I know of you, and being your acting teacher for years, and then listening to where I got a show in Ventura here, we got a show in Ventura here, because that shit ain't easy. So I know you're kind of saying, oh, I don't have a good work ethic about some things.
Well,
I understand, but you were putting shit on.
I wasn't promoting them. A lot of the promoters approached me for those shows.
Right.
I only promoted a handful of shows. There was the 8 Live shows that we did, and then there was the GMO ski show that I promoted, and then there was, I think, one other event that we promoted. Other than that, it was like people asked me to be on the show, and I said, Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, so I want to make sure that everything I say about you contradict.
Well, I don't want the
I just-
crowd because when you say putting on the show, it sounds like I'm the one throwing the event.
You just said you put on half a dozen of them.
I didn't say half a dozen.
You said a handful?
Handful. You know, maybe 5 or less I threw.
5 or less, okay.
Yeah, so
'Cause
at least 3, but no more than 5.
Because the mafia is going to come down on you if we say 6, because I said half a dozen, so.
Well, I mean, I just don't want people to get the wrong impression that I did a shitload of them.
Dude, you sound like you're winding down right now.
I'm not winding down.
No.
I told you, but I'd have to pull words out of my brain. It's like I'm pulling words out of a hat. So
Right.
just keeping up.
So you got involved, and there was a music scene in Ventura?
Yeah. Kind. Look, I'm trying to say it in a nice way because
Man, Brian. You know what I love doing?
Yeah.
I love tapping that subscribe button.
I love it too, son. And just like all your dates, I tap it last. But nothing's as good as tapping this button.
You see Brian here? He's not always doing the best. Financially, mentally, physically, for sure. You want to help keep Brian off the streets of Hollywood? There's a way you can help. Join us on Patreon. You want to tell them what we got on there, buddy?
Yes, we have the general admission, we have the backstage, and we have the VIP all-access pass. So please join today. I'm due for a bath.
In the arms of the angel, always here.
I had a lot of bad blood with the music scene in Ventura.
Okay, so that's a good place to go. So you had bad blood. You ended up moving to Sylmar. And as soon as you guys got in there, I may be skipping a step, but as soon as you guys got in there, you took the 2-bedroom apartment and made it a studio.
Yes.
I mean, that tripped me out. And I called you up and I said, does the landlord know about this? And you're
He
like,
does.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was thrilled.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah, because his wife is a piano player. So, like, he was, like, super into it.
Right.
Yeah.
Did she say, don't shoot me? That's an Elton John album.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Don't
No.
shoot me, I'm only a piano player.
Oh, that's funny.
And all the young people watching this are going to be like, shut the fuck up, you old fucking bastard.
No, they were cool with it. So where are we going with this?
We're
Because
not skipping. I just want to mention that we're going back to the thing that I enjoyed about doing the podcast with you when I told you to watch American Hot Wax.
Yes.
And you started telling me that you didn't think the story was strong, that it was more of a theme-driven. What did you say it was?
Acting driven. Like I
No,
did,
that's for sure.
like if I were to put, I'm going to reiterate myself, but putting the movie on, there was a lot of times where I didn't really know like what was going on. It was very, very loosely written. Like historically speaking, I know that it was a bunch of historical events, but they were all kind of just like taped together with Scotch
Sure.
tape.
No, I can understand that. It's funny because when people say to me, once upon a time in Hollywood, they're like, well, it didn't have a real story.
Well, that actually had a real story.
Well, I mean, whatever these people, they're always younger people because I lived that.
Mhm.
You know, I was very young, but I
Yeah.
remember that era. So I think that's a perfect movie.
Yeah.
So I loved the oldies, Buddy Holly. Buddy Holly
Yeah.
just passed in that. The story of Carole King, Lorraine Newman.
Yeah.
Played basically a Carole King type character.
Mhm.
I loved the whole era. So I didn't see it as you saw it,
No.
as someone coming just to watch a movie. So when you said that to me, I understood what you were saying, but that's when I realized that you wanted to be a filmmaker and you were interested in story and structure now.
Yes.
So, and then you had me watch that,
Awful film, The Velocipaster.
The Velocipaster.
It's not an awful film if, for some reason, if the people who
What do you
make
mean it's not an awful film?
it's a masterpiece.
It's a great name.
It is.
Great title.
they have it. It's a Velocipaster. The pastor got bit in.
By a
in
velociraptor
The
or something.
Velocipaster got bit in Agura, but it was supposed to be China. And when he got angry, he was like the Hulk. He turned into a velociraptor, but he was a Velocipaster. But the costume they used looked like Barney.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. and they were fighting ninjas, and we had some Asian ninjas and some white dude ninjas. So
See, the problem with American Hot Wax is, and I actually thought about this more as time went on, is that the story isn't terrible. It's just that the style of filmmaking that they had at that time wasn't caught up to where it wanted to be.
right.
Like if Quentin Tarantino filmed it, it would probably be able to stand, but that style of filmmaking was a lot of static camera move. Like it was hard to sit there and watch and be like, it needed a little bit more, but the filmmaking style was definitely they were too big for their britches, and what they wanted to do was ahead of their time, and they just didn't have the technology or the know-how to do it.
Right.
That's what I really think it was.
But Tim McIntyre played Alan Freed was brilliant.
Oh, well, the acting was great, but because acting has been good for, a while by that point.
Yeah.
So it's
no,
like,
I'm not.
yeah.
No, I'm not arguing.
I'm not arguing.
I see your point on it, and it's funny because I was so enamored with the style and Chuck Berry and Jerry Lee Lewis, and I was a kid and way before my time, but you grew up listening to oldies. Those were oldies.
Yeah.
They were on K Earth 101.
Oh, yeah.
That's now has oldies from the
90s,
90s. Yeah. Like, wow, but that was when the music was from the 50s. But so I was very interested in that and your approach to that. And we made the web series
Yep.
in acting class.
Yes, we did. Act accordingly.
Act accordingly. So, and you had me overacting.
Yeah, I had everyone overacting. That was really fun to do. It's not without its own issues, though, so I don't want people to be like, oh, this guy knows a lot about filmmaking, and then go and watch that and think that's what I know about filmmaking. But the cameraman didn't show up. I was supposed to have 2 crew members that were supposed to come out, and they didn't. There were no show. No diss in your son, but he also left me hanging there. He just ghosted me and never responded ever, and I had a whole 10 episodes written, and then I had to rewrite it and cut a bunch of it out to just have 5 episodes because I didn't have a crew anymore, so I didn't have the extra help, and Charles was on his phone half the time, and people weren't showing up. One day they'd be like, oh, I can't show up today, or I have to do this, so I had to do everything around, and we only had 2 hours to film every day, which I thought was enough time at the time, but when it's only me doing lights, sound, everything, then it wasn't ideal.
But you learned a lot.
I learned a lot.
Yeah.
I learned a lot. I learned that I would not do it again unless I for sure have a crew to help me because...
I agree with that. What was the part where Kyle wore the mask and...
Oh,
climbed around
that was Kramer McFetus claw enforcement. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's that about?
It's exactly what it sounds like. His name is Kramer McFetus, and he's a claw enforcer. He's a super cop with lobster claws, and based on a film project I did in high school, because I took filmmaking 3 years in high school, and it was kind of just a continuation of something that I did there, where the character dies, but he wakes up 300 years later because Antonio feeds him an Arizona iced tea, which we called the nutrients. So it's kind of an old inside joke, and he had the nutrients, and he woke up and had lobster claws from it, and then supposed to go on this whole journey, and he was supposed to play the villain, and I can tell the story now a little bit because it's never coming back, but there was supposed to be a whole twist where Antonio was the villain the whole time, and that you were actually the good guy, and then I go and kill you, and then the plot twist was that I killed the good guy who was trying to kill the bad guy.
Right.
And then Antonio was really the villain in disguise, and he tricks the claw enforced Kramer McFetus to kill the only savior of mankind. But that was supposed to happen.
What did I do? Did I bail?
No, you didn't bail.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were acting like I bailed. I was like, what the hell?
No, there was too many schedule conflicts with work, and everyone just couldn't commit. Just they kept trying to do some things, and then, Joey and Kyle couldn't do the same day, or Antonio couldn't do the same day, or...
That's how it goes.
Yeah, unless everyone's willing to starve a little bit and, penny pinch on that rent, you know what I mean? And just to be there, then.
Yeah.
But not a lot of people want to live with that discomfort.
Well, yeah, I've been doing it most of my life.
So
I do know.
Preaching to the choir.
I'm playing Santa Claus tonight for the second to last time. And
I thought you were playing Santa Claus right now.
Right now, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was interesting to me that you really wanted to be a filmmaker and you were pursuing it in a certain way. And now we're talking about making the horror film at the cabin.
Yes, I want to keep that under wraps. I don't want to talk about that. But I will say that we are talking about making another film, and I do have people that will help me with camera stuff this time. And they're not going to bail. At least one of them probably won't. But
Right.
I can't say for sure for the other one, but I'm hoping that he will not bail.
Well, it's really hard for people who are watching this and talking about filmmaking. It's really hard to get a crew that shows up all the time. The important thing is, as I always talked about in acting classes, you have to find like-minded people.
You do have to find
because when you do, they'll show up.
Well, that's why I actually started going to acting school in the first place. Not just because I wanted to learn how to act, but I wanted to meet actors who actually wanted to do shit.
Right.
And because in Ventura, I call it the city where dreams go to die. Nothing against Ventura, but if you're in Ventura your whole life, there's chances are you're not going to make it out of Ventura. You know what I mean? Like if you got to get out of Ventura to get out of Ventura, you have to make that move yourself. You're not going to get discovered in Ventura unless you're like one in a million, and there's not a.
Does that mean I don't want to look for actors for the acting class in Ventura? Is that what?
No, dude, get them out of Ventura because there's a lot of talent in Ventura.
Well,
but,
I'm going to be teaching here.
Oh.
Did you get the confidence in that?
Oh.
Did you get the confidence in that?
No, it's okay.
But they'll be halfway to.
Yeah.
They'll be halfway to LA. They'll be very close to
Ventura
Silmar.
needs someone like you that will push people out of Ventura. And I keep telling people this. It's like, if you really want to do something that's like dope, get the fuck out of Ventura.
Right.
You know,
Well, that's what you said to me when you had to get out. You said you had to get out.
I had to get out of Ventura.
Yeah.
It was depressing. It's quiet. Everything's closed after 10 o'clock except for downtown. And it's like, so it's either go and drink or go and lay in your bed and fucking hate life a little bit. It's a beautiful place, but it's really
Is it really the roofies capital of the 805?
Yeah, it's because of me, but I mean, I don't even take people home. I just pop roofies and drinks just for fun and then dip. I don't even know if the roofies. I just get a big bag of random pills and just
You put a GoPro in everybody's car and
I just want everyone to have a good time.
Yeah.
That's all. There's no opportunities in Ventura. You go there to retire. You go there to raise a family, and it's a good place to raise kids. It's a great place to retire.
Right.
But there's no opportunity for film and stuff like that. If you really want to do that, you got to go to LA anyway. You know what I mean? You got to go to Hollywood anyway.
Right.
You got to get out of there. And the venues there aren't even that good. Like the Majestic Theater is the only decent venue in Ventura County. All of them are kind of like shitty little dive bars and like whatever places that, that are going to try to charge you. There's this one venue there, I'm not going to name it because fuck them, but they try to charge me. I tried to promote a show there not that long ago before I moved, and they wanted to charge me $1,200. I was like, first of all, your capacity is 150 people. You want to charge me $1,200, plus you want to charge me for the sound guy, and then you want to take a cut of the door? Like, no. What, I have to charge $50 a head to make my money back? Plus it's $2,000 for the headliner? Like, no, fuck that. I'm not going to make my money back.
Right.
It's not economical whatsoever.
Right.
And this is what I'm saying about Ventura is it doesn't make any sense to try to do anything professional there because it's all who you know there. If you don't know the people and they don't want to give you a good deal, then there's no fucking point. There's more people are willing to risk it, I think, in LA. A lot of people come out here to just risk it for everything. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And
yeah, I do.
And I think that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? Especially in this business, is you got to risk it for everything. You know what I mean? If you got to end up sleeping in your car just until you can get to that spot to have a roof over your head or something like that, fucking do it. Do it. Get the fuck out of Ventura. So I tell people.
Yeah.
Fuck out of Ventura.
I agree.
Yeah, that's what my dad told me about Daytona Beach. Same shit.
Yeah. Well, it's true. You got to do it. You got to go somewhere. You know what I mean? And I would recommend, New York, but New York's too cold during the winter to sleep in your car.
Yeah.
So LA is the perfect place if you have to be homeless, you know what I mean? Like, to follow your dreams. Not that I'm homeless, but I'm not a homeowner either. I just happen to have a great situation, which is, it's a fucking blessing for me. But
Right. But you know what I say? You worked for this situation.
Oh, fuck yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did.
You didn't end
I
up...
dealt with a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't end up there because you're a lop.
No, a lot of it's, loyalty, hard work, the ethic, it goes back to the ethic, like he said, but, I just try not to play myself up too much, but now you got me kind of going, Now you're kind of randy right now for myself.
Randy.
And that'll help tonight when you're alone, getting yourself to sleep. Yeah. Now, are you still going by Halfwit?
No.
Oh, what are you going by?
Zak Meister.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, not Zak Meister?
Zak Meister. Someone's going to call me that, I know that for sure, but no, it's just Zak Meister. It was just made more sense just to rebrand just my actual name. I still want to own the Zak Meister name for like a skating clothing company, or not the Halfwit name. I mean, because it's like great skate wear. You know what I mean? And I thought even about once I get to a point, I would like to have the Halfwit clothing brand, and then I want to donate half the money to like inner city schools and shit like that.
All right.
Yeah.
Which city?
I don't know. Whichever city I'm closest to at the time that I think needs it. I don't know. You know.
Well, that's good. So you're going by Zak Meister.
Yeah, just my name.
I called you Zak Meister for 7 years, so I got to get off that. And I thought it was Meister.
I thought you were just fucking with me.
And I know that's what he said. I said, your name's Meister? And he goes, yeah. And I said, I always called you Meister. He said, I thought you were just fucking with me. I could just let it ride.
That's
but
awesome.
Okay, so now you're putting together new music. How many releases do you think you've had as Halfwit? How many drops? I don't know, albums, singles?
I call them mixtapes now just because I bought the beats at the time, but now after a certain amount of time I realized that a couple of the beats that he'd sold me he didn't actually own.
Oh.
And, you know, this is another reason why I say don't fuck with people in Ventura County, because people were just, I mean, you'll find that everywhere, but like...
Did he sell you one that went doon 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 doo 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 doon 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 doo doo doo? No. It was someone else's beat, but so now I put everything out under Halfwit just as like mixtape shit. Right.
But as Halfwit, I did 60 solo songs, and I with my old group, another maybe 30, 40 songs, so probably a good 100 songs out there just as Halfwit.
Right.
My quality has improved a lot
Right.
since then, because a lot of that stuff came out between 2012 and 2015.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I heard you, and I thought this was the only way, maybe it was at the time, you're doing like that speed rap?
I do some speed rap, chopper shit, but I'm not that fast. I'm not like Tech 9 or anything like that. Busta Rhymes or Twista.
Spit a little for us.
Spit a little?
Spit.
I was like spitting on the mic, get it?
Yeah, I saw that, Zach. Meister.
You'd have to give him a beat.
No, I could do it. Okay, look. I was never born to be some special. Too much of a chore to be differential. Rather be bored than to be under pressure. Couldn't go to work, I'm not even essential. What does that word even mean anyway? It could be a struggle to think of my brain. Aneurysm bubbles up, breaching my vein. Oh, losing my head like I'm Ichabod Crane.
Hey.
I just did that song for the show the other day, so it was already fresh in my
I think
mind.
I heard that somewhere. I mean, I think I heard it online.
Yeah, that's the Pig Bimpin'. I did that music video.
Yeah. So that's
dope.
what I.
Thank
So
you.
was that your style for? Yeah, it was good. It was good. And this is. This is what I remember him at. When I first started hearing him, I was like, oh, and that's not thought you were going to spit for Method Man and
I should have.
Snoop. You've been watching Brian Lally, Hollywood Native. Now I want to talk to you about something I'm really passionate about, and that's teaching acting. So I co-founded LOLAS Acting School with my son, Kyle Lally, Lally Acting School. I've been acting for a long time now. I have 100-plus credits on IMDb, hundreds of plays I've been involved with over the years, and I just want to share that experience with you.
What we do differently here at LOLAS is we give you practical advice that you can use on a movie set, on a play, an audition, anywhere. We give you the foundation to build yourself as a great actor.
If you come to us, you don't know anything, we can teach you everything you need to know to be comfortable on a set and to excel. Don't just listen to me. Look at what our students are doing. Daryl Wesley, who is writing on 2 hit shows, The Game and The Upshaws, and Ben Barrett, who is a series regular on The Politician, Megan Davis, who is playing Amber Heard in the Johnny Depp Amber Heard story. Come check us out. We're at the Historic Arc Theater in the NoHo Arts District. You ever want to try plant-based eating?
I have.
What, you're a little confused, overwhelmed, you don't know how to get started?
Definitely.
Well, there's a simple answer to that. Go to Debbie Chew's Chew On Vegan YouTube channel. Debbie Chew is a plant-based RN. I've known Debbie for over 38 years, and she's very good at what she does. You go to the channel, and there's over 300 recipes. They're simple, easy to make, and they're delicious. If you want to try it, you just might get healthy. Give it a shot. Chew On Vegan.
I should have. I was freestyling a lot at that area, and all those the local kids that lived there that were on the film shoot were all like, "Wow, dude, you're like a fucking dope rapper, so cool." And I was like, "Yeah, fucking am." I was like, "Come on." But no, I do some of that fast stuff. I don't do as much fast stuff as I do more like, I don't know, like fuck, like what are some other things I got? Like, 'cause I got my group Comfortably Scum, and most of that's not not very fast.
Right.
Yeah, that's my homies, fucking Diastro and Ill Temper and me. We got that group. We have a mixtape out. We put out last year. And we got another one coming. Yeah.
And who owns the right to this? What do you do with the publishing? I mean,
For Comfortably Scum?
yeah.
Well, for mixtape shit, we just put it out online. You know what I
Right.
mean? I just put it out for free on my website.
Right.
You know, like there were some issues with beats that we couldn't get the rights to, and someone gave us beats, and we didn't know that some of those beats they didn't make them,
Right.
so we had to put it out as a mixtape. But we got Black Hesher. Our next one, most of this production is by him. He gave us a bunch of beats before he passed, just to use for whatever, and we're just like, yeah, let's make our next Comfortably Scum album, because he's the one that kind of brought us all together. Except I knew Ill Temper for like 10 years, but like he's a Philly boy. Ill Temper introduced me to Van introduced me to Diastro. So the next one's all Black Hesher beats basically, and we have just like the full rights to them.
And it's been a year since he passed.
Yeah,
That was just
the
recent,
day after
right?
the day after my birthday last year.
Damn.
Yeah, so
Sorry. Yeah.
thank you.
With these different like groups that you're in, or say going into your rebranding towards Zak Meister, are you putting on a persona within
Zak Meister or within the groups?
the group? Like, is it a different, or are you still
It's all
just
me.
you?
Yeah. Well,
or
I
are
mean,
you
yeah, in
kinda-
Comfortably Scum, it's Zak Meister, so Cult Music is kind of like the bigger branch of the group, and then Ill Temper, Diastro, and me are in Cult Music, and we decided let's make our own little like trio group because we all have like a real similar, just like sick style, just a lot of shock rap type stuff, and
Mhm.
just
So you're not
gross.
blatantly like wearing different.
No,
like-
I used to do
like
that
character
I
type?
used to do that when I first started as Halfwit. I used to wear like a luchador mask and I tried to just dress as weird as possible so that people like I wanted to stand out amongst the crowd.
Mhm.
But then I realized like my lyrics, my voice, my vocal style, the way I rap over certain types of beats stands out enough anyway that I don't need any of that.
Yeah.
Also, one time, Just said he was like, "Why do you wear a mask? You're not that ugly." And I was like, "I don't wear a mask because I think I'm ugly. God damn it!" But
Yeah. I got a buddy of mine that he's a rapper and he's worn a mask and he's like trying to get to that point of like, I'm like, bro, you just got to jump and take the mask off and just.
yeah, I
let-
mean,
It's the ICP.
yeah, I got a little influence from that too, but I don't like talking about that.
Oh, shit.
No, they're cool. It's just there was-
X-Nay on the insane.
no, I just got a lot of homies that the Juggalos don't like for some reason. Like Joker has some beef with some people, and then
Okay.
Gmo Ski diss ICP, and Gmo Ski's the homie, so I got a ride for my peoples. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did the
Yeah.
Joker
Choo-choo-choo.
start popping like in 2000? Did he have a line that was like, "My name is Joker, habitual smoker"? Or am I thinking of another
That
Joker?
might have been a different one. He's a Joker with two R's. He really started popping when he dissed Hobson, because he
Okay.
started popping when he dissed Hobson, dissed Tech Nine, Sidekick, Permanent Enemy, Maestro. Yeah,
I got you. I gotta
Yeah.
check him out.
yeah, he's crazy dope.
Nice. But yeah, I remember there was a Joker back in like 2010 or 2012.
There's a lot of
that I
Jokers.
was,
Yeah, there's a lot of Jokers. There was a lot of Halfwits too, but you know how many Zak Meisters there are?
6.
No, oh my God, I hope not.
69.
There's at least I'm the only Zak Meister that's rapping. So I can't find another one on Spotify or iTunes Music or anything like that.
Then
so
you got it all.
I got it all.
When I started going for Brian Lally shit, man, there was a guy up in Seattle, and he was a musician, and he was on it. BrianLally.com, Brian Lally at Gmail, Brian Lally.
Hollywood
IG.
native.
And the guy in Seattle was Brian Lally, Hollywood native.
yeah, that's funny.
This fuck.
Just buying all your domains.
Yeah, Brian went and killed him.
You're wearing his skin right now.
You said you fell behind on your music,
I did.
right? So you're trying to catch up with the music. That's the only way.
I started falling behind in 2016.
Damn.
Well, I hit because I did a lot of that halfwit shit in between 2012 and 2016. And then 2016, I got HIV.
Oh,
Yeah. Fucking too many hookers
well,
and strippers.
I thought the line was you couldn't fuck too many hookers.
I didn't stop. Okay. It didn't keep me from doing it, but I did that. But it was a mental hurdle to go through.
Yeah,
it wasn't easy, but
And it might be a physical hurdle too.
so there was that, and then there was also the point where I was hitting this wall with my music, where I was like, look, like I know I could be better than this. I know I am better than this. But I was like, I need the right inspiration or the right know-how. I needed like a mentor, like I needed like you for acting, basically. And that's how me and the Joker got linked up, is because then 2017, like very end of 2016, very beginning of 2017, I realized like, oh dude, he lives like 40 minutes from me. I was like, I'll just throw him some cash, have him come by, have him listen to my music, and then tell me what I'm doing wrong and what I can do to improve. And that's where our relationship built from there.
Right.
Yeah.
Does he back your filmmaking or?
A little bit. I mean, he liked to act accordingly, but he's a busy guy. He doesn't get to watch every little bit of and listen to every little bit of thing that I do. You know
Right.
what I mean?
No, I'm just asking.
Yeah, but he helps.
It's a podcast. I'm just asking questions.
I know you are. I'm just telling you the answers. But yes, he does. He's gonna help me with filming my music videos for this album that I'm working on. He's gonna help me with the mixing, mastering, recording, and everything like that. So he's got my back on that shit. And then I haven't talked to him about it yet, but I do want to have him help film the short film that we're planning on doing.
Okay.
But I just don't want to give too many details about it.
I got a project right here that I'm working on that I've been working on for 3 years.
Yeah, you told me
So-
about that. The one where you look like Jesus or something like that.
Like Jesus.
Whatever. Caveman man, cowboy.
Yeah, caveman man.
Velocipaster.
Yeah, the Velocipaster
Yeah,
too. Yeah.
Caveman Man is what it's called. I want you to do the theme song for it.
You-
Caveman Man.
Caveman man. You told me about it at the diner though. I know what you're talking
Okay.
about. Yeah. You showed me some of the pictures. You got to cast me in that, bro.
Yeah, I can't cast you in it. It's for good actors.
Oh, okay. I see how it is. I'll remember
Yeah, I
that.
just told you how it is.
I know.
So you're going to be just working on your music now, or?
Well, I gotta write the script for that short film.
Right.
I gotta catch up on a lot of collabs. We're doing the other Comfortably Scum album. We're doing a cult music group album, and then I got my solo record, which is kind of like the main priority. But
Right.
I got all that shit going on.
So I'm interested in where you're going to go as a filmmaker, because from where you started to where you are now, I think you've made great leaps.
Thank you.
Even though you say, act accordingly is what it is. I think your vision is pretty high.
Thank
So when are you going to follow that? When are you going to pursue that? With the short film is
Yeah,
the
I think
beginning
that's
of
the
it.
follow-
So
yeah.
that's the next. That's the
It's
next
the next
thing.
thing, yeah.
How does your music influence your writing for films?
It doesn't at all.
I thought I was going somewhere with that.
No, I wouldn't use. I don't think. Okay, so there's the rapper me, and then there's the filmmaker me, and I
Right.
do not think rap music for most films is good scoring.
No, but I don't think scoring. I mean, if you're coming up with a rap, if you're coming up with a collab with
Like a
people,
mood.
yeah, a mood and a story.
Oh
You
yeah.
can come up with a story. Greatest storytellers.
Oh, for like music videos, you mean?
Like
Or
Slick
like,
Rick was a great storyteller. I mean,
Yeah. It's because my music is dirty and gross and not PC, and I don't want to say I don't take the music seriously, but I take filmmaking a lot more seriously.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if one followed the other.
No.
Ice Cube is a storyteller.
Yeah, no, Ice Cube's great, but I'm not Ice Cube. I'm Zak Meister. I got my own method to my madness. No, but they don't bleed over too much.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't bleed over too much.
All right.
Yeah.
And how does your filmmaking influence your rap?
Well, that actually helps me learn music video ideas.
Right.
Yeah. I could tell a story in a music video and shit like that, but I guess when I think of filmmaking, I think of the actual like a movie. You know what I mean? I don't think about my music when I do that.
Right.
Yeah.
People watching this now are like, "You lost the connection, man. Quit asking him that question. It ain't coming together."
No.
Whatever your dream was.
No, I get
Spit in a minute.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. It's just I don't know. I kind of compartmentalize a lot of shit in my brain,
Right.
and those two things don't have a lot of crossover other than the music video stuff. That's the only crossover that they really have, is because I got to use my filmmaking knowledge to make music video. But the way I write lyrics is a little different than the way that I would write a script. My lyrics is a little more like just me being as ridiculous and out of pocket as possible, like on purpose, because I think it's funny, or I think it's gross, or I think it's like, oh, that shit's hard as fuck. You know, when I'm trying to write dialogue, I let like my left brain and my right brain like talk it out, and I try to envision what actual dialogue would sound like in real life by like, it sounds insane, but having conversations with myself basically.
Yeah.
And then letting there be a lot of conflict between the two voices, because there's a scene needs to be driven by some kind of conflict usually.
Sure.
Yeah, otherwise there's nothing stagnant. I can't let it get stagnant. So you know,
There's always conflict.
always
Every scene.
conflict every scene.
There's got to be.
Mhm.
So, you gonna lay down a little something?
A little something.
Just gag on the mic.
You get a
That was creative.
yeah, a little acapella thing. I'm no rapper here, but are you gonna lay down something after me?
Am I? No, I'm not going to.
No?
I've embarrassed myself before. I can quote the Beastie Boys, but I have none of my.
All right, I'll try to. I ain't trying to quote the Beastie Boys. I'm just playing with Beastie toys with all these yeasty boys getting smelly. What you saying? I'm all up in her belly. I'm about to eat this peanut butter and jelly because I need a snack. Call me Monsters Inc. with no celly. I'm in a pink in the cellar. Heller. Peace, Denise.
Did we talk about my podcast already?
No, go ahead.
So Mail Day spawned my podcast,
Right.
because I had to move, and then Hans and me were having scheduling conflicts, which are a lot of issues. Hans is also a dope rapper. Shout out to Hans. We were doing the show, and then I was like, and I kept thinking to myself, I was like, man, like, it'd just be so much easier if I just had my own show. Like, not dissing him because I love doing the show with him, but it was just like I could do it on my own time, and then I could just get whoever in as a guest on my show whenever I want, and not worry about it. Because he came up with the Mail Day name and theme because he was doing a Mail Day thing on Instagram before I started doing it. I just kind of stole it from him for a second. Not saying I didn't really steal it from him, but I started doing a review thing, and then he told me he was doing a review thing, and I was like, oh, well, let's just combine our shit and just call it by your show's name.
Right.
Yeah, because I didn't want to think of a name at the time. But then I was like, well, you know what? I'm moving and all this other shit. So Meister Menagerie is what I came up with. And I got the logo, the music for it, and it's out now. Got 3 episodes up. Get a different guest every episode and talk, just ramble about shit, whatever's topical or whatever I think is funny, movies, music. I want to do this with all the different cameras, but I don't have 6 cameras available. I just got my 1 film camera, so.
That's kind of nice.
Well, I know, it's fucking stupid. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh. Well, if you don't got any more questions for me, I could talk forever.
You said he wanted me to rap. I thought I was going to wrap it up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's making fun of me.
Hey, Mister.
The best.
Can't go there. Coffee gives me a headache.
1 lump or 2.
3 or 4. Now you got to go wham, 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 wham.
Yeah. Well.
3 or 4.
Wham, 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 wham.
Ooh, coffee gives me a headache.
So, where can people find you on social media?
Well, I mean, I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I don't really use the Facebook page because I feel like they're so antiquated now. I put the Meister Menagerie on Spotify. Everything else, I mean, I'm on YouTube, but I'm trying to drive people to zakmeister.com. That's ZAKMEISTER.com. Because I want people to download shit from there. My philosophy is Spotify doesn't pay enough for music, and iTunes takes a chunk. I'd rather people buy my music, my merch directly from me, so that I could just. I'd rather sell. Okay, I did the numbers. You have to get like 300,000 Spotify spins a month to make minimum wage. And to get about $100, you have to get like 3,000 views. I'd rather just sell 10 records and keep all the profit.
Yeah.
That's my philosophy. So if you want my shit, go to my website. You know.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Nice.
Play that shit.
Yeah.
We're here to promote you and Spotify.
Spotify's cool.
All
I just
right.
I don't want them to pull your episode because I'm dissing them.
Let's chill then.
I'm
For the
chilling.
next episode.
Oh yeah.
All right. I guess we're going to wrap it up.
Okay.
David Nelson, D. Nelly.
Cool.
What's your must act? Go ahead.
Must Act or David Nelson TV.
And Meryl.
We'll leave Meryl out of this. At Janitor.
Yeah. What about the janitorials, man?
Yeah, it's coming. Coming soon. It's gonna be pretty funny. It's this man going wild. Got him with his shirt off a lot. So
Oh,
look
nice.
forward to that.
Ain't nobody want to see that. We're going to pixelate that.
Okay.
We're going to pixelate.
You're gonna have to pixelate a lot.
Yeah. So,
But yeah, thank you, brother. It was great.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Zak Meister, thanks for coming out, man.
Of course,
I love
anytime.
your passion. We're going to keep you available for the next episode. So your next drop, our film in the desert. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
See you, man. Thanks.
Yep. Thank
Later.
you.